with the hearing on Senate Bill 281, and we will begin with staff overview by our reviser, Tamara Lawrence.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and good morning, committee. Senate Bill 281 would establish the Kansas Post-Secondary Education Savings Account and Kansas Able Savings Account Grant Incentive Program and eliminate the Low-Income Family Post-Secondary Savings Accounts Incentive Program. Currently, KSA 75650 provides for the Low-Income Family Post-Secondary Savings Account Incentive Program, also known as the Kids Matching Grant Program, which is much easier to say, so I'm going to go with that one. This program is to encourage families to establish a Kansas 529 account. The revisor memorandum provides additional detail on this program, as I'm sure a representative from the Treasurer's Office will as well. Senate Bill 281 would replace that grant program with the Kansas Post-Secondary Education Savings Account and Kansas Able Savings Account Grant Incentive Program. This program would provide a grant of up to $100 to participants who have a Kansas-sponsored 529 account or Able Savings account and who complete financial education training. This program would be administered by the state treasurer, who would develop that education training, that financial education training. Additionally, the treasurer would prepare and submit a report to the governor and the legislature on the program each year. The total amount of money is provided for this program could not exceed $200,000 per year. Section 1 of the bill does establish a trust fund for the purposes of administering these grants under the program. The bill would take effect upon publication in the Kansas Register, and I will be happy to answer any questions.
Committee, what questions do we have for Tamara? Seeing none, thank you for that overview. We will start with proponent testimony. Tom Treacy, Office of Kansas State Treasurer. Stephen Johnson, welcome to committee.
Thank you for having us. Tom Tracy, Deputy Assistant State Treasurer to Treasurer Stephen Johnson. Treasurer Johnson apologized he could not be here today. He is testifying in another committee. I want to introduce Kathy Sachs. She is our Executive Affairs Director and Legislative Affairs Director. Kathy will be taking some notes because there will be some questions you may have that I can't answer. Tanya Hutchings, she has the most touch on this program. She had a family emergency last night and couldn't be here today. So any questions you have and I can't answer, we will get back to you with those answers. Appreciate you guys evaluating this program. It's long overdue. The Kids Matching Grant Program was established in 2006. It began in our office in 2007. The way it works is that it is a dollar-for-dollar match into a 529 account. Something to know is that it's within the 529 umbrella, but it is a separate program. So the way it works is that the legislator allocates $720,000 a year for these grants. It is divided 4 ways among the 4 congressional districts. 300 individuals are eligible a year to apply for this grant. It is based on household income. So you must be 200% of the poverty level or below to qualify for this program. This is your final adjusted gross average. This is not your salary. It's your final take-home pay. So if you make contributions into a 401k, an HSA, any before tax accounts, that will deduct reduce your final adjusted gross income. Right now, a household of 4 that makes less than $64,300 would qualify for this program. The Kids Matching Grant Program, they're treated a little different than a 529 account. When we establish these accounts, we create 2 accounts separate from a 529 account. The reason that is because 529 funds do not require verification when they're expended. They used to. When the federal government first passed 529 accounts, I think it was back in 1996, they did require every dollar to be verified on how it's spent. They quickly learned that this is not possible. And today we have hundreds of billions of dollars within all the states. We would probably need 10 IRSs to verify all these expenditures. So the KIDS program is separate because the KIDS program was established with state legislation, and that state legislation specified that we must verify every dollar. So initially when we began this program, it wasn't much of a burden to us. We had, I believe, had no impact because we actually use our existing 529 resources, and our program manager helps us with the administration of this program. Most of the hours actually fall on our partners in the 529 realm. But we were able to begin this program at low cost. And if you look back and, a couple years after the program, when there was a review of this program and they extended this, the program was, I believe, around less than $1 million. That's what I calculated there. Well, today it's now $16.3 million. Last year, we had to verify $1.1 million in receipts. And we're talking about Walmart receipts, KU Bookstore, Chipotle receipts, all of these. Tanya, for the most part, has to verify that. And it's a pain, too, because sometimes these things are faxed in and they come in, hard to read, and we've got to verify, hey, I see 2 meals here, but you're only supposed to use expenses for yourself, not two people. And it's a lot of back and forth with parents on, I don't think you understood, some of these rules and parameters here. So there is a lot of administrative work in serving as essentially IRS agents for this program. So we are here today asking you, and this is a perfect place for this committee, because this program, though it was extended in 2009, it wasn't a real thorough review. It was a pilot program, and it basically has been on autopilot for 18 years now, and the funding has kind of just been auto-renew. We need to have this discussion on how to make this program more efficient, and that's why we're here before you today. And so I'm happy to take any questions you might have.
Committee, what questions do we have for Mr. Treacy? Senator Shane.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In not so many words, you could have said we just got the low man on the totem pole that didn't know. No, I'm just kidding. One question for you, and I really appreciate the effort to identify opportunity for efficiencies in identifying a program that's maybe not, the best investment or isn't working as intended, so on and so forth. But there's also the proposal to roll this into kind of a new program and to have that financial education training. Mm-hmm. Would that be something that the Treasurer's Office would have to partner with an external vendor, and there would be costs associated with that, or how does the office envision kind of enacting that financial literacy training?
No, we already currently do something similar with the ABLE program. We do a financial literacy. It's every Wednesday nights and Friday afternoons, an hour-long Zoom, and we have some curriculum created for that, and so that's already been established. And so we envision doing a similar thing to that. But we will need to work with our program manager on how to, send these funds to the correct accounts. But we do anticipate much less man hours doing that. But,
yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Committee, what other questions do we have? Seeing none, thank you.
Made it easy for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Megan Shreve, Associate Director of Interhab. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair Erickson, members of the committee. I'm so happy to be here today to share testimony on Senate Bill 281. Again, I am representing the providers of intellectual and developmental disabilities across Kansas. ABLE accounts provide vital support to Kansans who need it most, especially those with intellectual and developmental disabilities. This bill will provide Kansans with continued incentives to open ABLE accounts while promoting that continued financial literacy that was just talked about for families across the state. This includes that $100 in seed money for new accounts for Kansans who truly do need them the most. It also will help formalize that training that was just spoken about for those with disabilities in saving, investing, and growing personal wealth through their benefits of their ABLE account. And again, the continued streamlining of this program will provide efficiencies that your committee is discussing for both individuals and the state treasurer's office. And again, I'm happy to stand for questions.
Committee, any questions? Seeing none, thank you so much for being here. We will move on to Sarah Hartweir, Executive Director of Kansas Council on Developmental Disabilities. Welcome to committee.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I am Sarah Hartweir, Executive Director of the Kansas Council on Developmental Disabilities. We appreciate the opportunity to submit testimony in support of Senate Bill 281. You all are pretty familiar with our organization, so I'll skip that part. We're really excited about this important legislation because it advances financial empowerment and independence for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities through the Kansas ABLE program. Personally, I have worked on the ABLE Act at the federal and the state level for 19 years and helped lead the passage of the federal bill on Capitol Hill, the Stephen Beck Jr. Achieving a Better Life Experience Act, and then subsequently have helped stand up most of the state ABLE programs across the country. At the council, we've been a strong advocate for the Kansas ABLE program and working with State Treasurer Johnson, with Tom and other members of the team to really promote this program statewide. Many of you were part of our big announcement about a year and a half ago where we teamed up with Treasurer Johnson, Secretary Howard at KDADS, and with our organization to launch a roadshow. We went to 50 different cities across the state of Kansas to really get in the trenches and educate individuals and families about the benefits of opening up an ABLE program or an ABLE account with an incentive to do so. Because of our hard work and little investment, we have seen the Kansas ABLE program grow by 25% over the last year or so, with approximately $8 million in new assets under management. We see a lot of similarities between this bill and the seed work that we did. We feel this bill takes a critical step forward by establishing a dedicated incentive program to ensure that all of our eligible ABLE account holders or eligible individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities can move forward toward that financial independence and remain on those essential benefits. Thank you so much, and I'll stand for questions at the appropriate time.
Thank you so much. Committee, what questions do we have? Again, seeing none. You guys are knocking it out of the park today, so. I will draw the committee's attention to written proponent only by Matthew Golden. And we do have an addition of Mr. Nick Novelli. I hope I'm saying that correctly. You do not have his written testimony yet. That will be forthcoming. So Mr., I hope I'm saying that right, Novelli, welcome to committee.
Hi, my name is Nick Novelli, so thank you. Excuse me. So I certainly am in favor of ABLE accounts, but I'm opposed to the legislation or the bill as it's written because it's suppressing the low-income matching program for the kids grant program. I worked with a number of low-income families, actually 40 when I looked through my notes, to help them make their contributions to their 529 plan for their children's education, and in order to get the match. And it works well. The program works well. There are some efficiencies, I think, that the Treasurer's Office should implement to reduce the number of hours they spend on it. And I think there's ways to do that without eliminating and suppressing the program altogether. So, so I would like to see the legislation changed or perhaps looked at in the future in a way to continue while also doing the ABLE accounts.
Okay.
And just a few things, so I'm just saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. The ABLE accounts are good. I do have a number of low-income families that already are contributing to their 529 plan this year with the expectation that the legislation will allow it to be matched again this year. So this is kind of a change of system for them that wasn't expected. So that's tweak the program, don't eliminate it, is what I'm saying. Thank you. Less questions?
Thank you so much. Committee, any questions for Mr. Novelli? Seeing none, thank you for being here and taking time to offer testimony.
Thank you.
Committee, that closes our hearing on Senate Bill 281. And with that, we will move committee to looking at bills that we have previously heard. And I would like to open with House Bill 2238. And if we could just have a quick refresher on 2238, and is that going to be David Weiss? Thank you, David.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 2238, it just would concern the Legislative Interim Committee minutes and who prepares those minutes. Under current law, legislative research prepares the minutes. What 2238 would do is make that a duty of Legislative Administrative Services.
And can you remind us, it passed the House?
This was 123 to 0.
There we go. So, committee, any questions on this bill? Committee, I would move that we pass this out and place this on the consent agenda, if that is what the committee wishes. Do I have a second? Seconded by everybody on the committee, I think. We'll go with Senator Thomas. I think I saw him first. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Committee, we will meet on Monday with the plan to work 2101, 2240, 2304, and Senate Bill 281. And I will let the committee know on 281. I know there are some compromises in the works on that, and I look forward to bringing those to committee on Monday. Are there any questions? Seeing none, hope you all have a great weekend.